Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's third and final video. Going to have a look at the weather next 10 to 14 days for today's final video, day 10. Day 10, so sorry everybody, will take us to the 2nd of June, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended CFS and ECM ensembles, maybe on track a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, so that will get us into the second half of June. I should get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the European outlook for this week as well. Please check out all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone. There we go, that's better. Right, going to start our central temperature. Seating remains at 14.3, 3.1 degrees above 61 to 1990 average. That is provisional to yesterday, the 22nd of May, continuing to be exceptionally warm again this month. Now, not to be yesterday, but I want to look from quickly again today. These are the 500 millibar heights on the flow charts for Penn State University for the next week to 10 days. Got the ECMWF on the top, the GFS is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 80,000 meters area in the actual high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Red and orange extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure. Blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. You can see that within the 7 to 10 day time frame, the ECM has a ridge of above average heights as it's sending up towards the south of Greenland, and there's a corresponding trough of low just here, a ridge extending through the Norwegian Sea over towards blocking around Russia as well. So the upshot is we've got quite a bit of blocking up here, and we're sending the jet stream and the trough of low pressure southwards. So that's a relatively cool and unsettled signal for the 7 to 10 day time frame, which is taking us into the beginning of June and the beginning of meteorological summer. The GFS is similar, but goes even further with the blocking signal. Again, ridge in the Atlantic, but strong with a ridge around Greenland and to the north of Scandinavia, kind of like Svalbard. And then we've got this trough of low again underneath it. The upshot again is that we are going on to cool side of the jet stream there. So both of the models are playing around with northern blocking as we go into June and the beginning of meteorological summer. That's not necessarily a terribly auspicious start to meteorological summer 2024. These with GFS, I'm sorry everybody, these with GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Nottingham today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Nottingham, and we are hovering very close to average with those upper air temperatures, not just today but seemingly for the next couple of weeks actually. There's no sign of anything particularly exciting going on either from a cool perspective or from like a hot perspective. Of course, there are the usual hot outliers that we see here, but there's no particular evident warming trend. It just looks like the upper air temperatures will be close to average over the next couple of weeks. Now, when the sun's out, of course, it's going to feel absolutely fine. It will feel nice and warm with average upper air temperature, but when it's dull and wet, it will be feeling quite cool, I would imagine. And there is more precipitation to come. The next couple of days are going to be relatively dry, but as we go through the bank holiday weekend and then on into next week and beyond that into start of June actually, we see quite a few precipitation spikes there telling us that there is yet more rain to come. No sign of a sustained settled spell of weather there in the next couple of weeks really. Temperature anomaly is on the 23rd to the 31st of May, a little bit below average, not a particularly big deviation, but it does look a little bit on the cooler side there. And the precipitation anomalies for the 23rd to 31st of May average to slightly wetter than normal. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net places us under a little area of low pressure across the centre of the country, and around that we are pulling in a wind from quite a coolish sort of northwesterly direction into that area of low pressure. Rather unsettled and a bit on the chilly side today, and there is of course further rain continuing in the north. It will gradually die out, but wasn't it a deluge yesterday? Goodness gracious me. And I'm so sorry again, everybody. Right, the UK Met. Let's have a look at the chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro run, it's looking midnight on Sunday. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic, brings some heavy rain with it. That will be followed by heavy showers through Sunday into bank holiday Monday. Then from the middle part of next week, heights rise a little bit to our south and east, but still plenty of low pressure out to the north and west. That will bring wet and dull weather into the north and west of the country. The south and east should have quite a bit dry and warm weather. By the end of the UK Met Euro run, looks like the highs begin to slip away to the east, or the ridge is slipping away to the east with more low pressure heading in from the Atlantic. We may get a couple of drier, slightly warmer days through the middle part of next week, but by the end of next week, I would imagine we're back into quite unsettled conditions again. I can't bring this trough in from the Atlantic on Saturday night for Sunday morning. Some heavy rain coming in with that. And then from Sunday to Monday, it's basically a case of showers, and some of those showers could be heavy and thundery. On into the middle of next week, well, heights rise in the south, bring some drier and warmer weather there. But further north and west, there will be more cloud and rain at times. We get to the middle of next week, which gets us to midday next Thursday. I'll be going back into like a showery northwesterly bend, all looking a little bit changeable, not necessarily a washout, but all looks a little bit changeable there from the first 2 miles. Let's see what the GFS midnight run is showing. And again, we can see that for midnight on Sunday, we're bringing low pressure in from off the Atlantic, and that's bringing some quite heavy rain in from the west as well. On into the early part of next week, low pressure keeps on coming. So that's Wednesday, more unsettled than Icon the UK Met through the middle of next week with this low here. That's bringing outbreaks of rain and quite cool temperatures with it. But as we head up toward day 10, we send that low pressure into the North Sea, and we get this ridge building in the Atlantic going up towards Greenland. So not only unsettled under the trough of low pressure, but also becoming cooler as well, with winds pulling into that north or even northwesterly direction. So that's the setup for day 10. Notice the heights in the Atlantic going up to Greenland. What tends to happen in the summer is you get that sort of blocking pattern, is that you get a trough setting up underneath it, and that's a good example of that trough under the north and the west of Europe, a trough over the northwest Europe, I should say, underneath the block. That's the 3rd of June. Again, we see that pattern quite nicely of the block around Greenland, northern blocking there, and then underneath it we've got the trough through here, the jet stream. Just something a little bit like that. It does allow heat to really build this pattern across southern parts of Europe where the heat gets bottled up. So you may see some very high temperatures across the far south of Europe. Oh, sorry, everybody. As we go into the early part of June with this pattern. Right, so beyond that, and of course, the thing with that is that can help to fuel precipitation. So if you've got like the heat really building up through here, and the heat will try and push northwards, just due to the atmospheric, way the atmosphere works, and then you've got the blocking up here, that via the trough is moving cooler air down from the north, then you can, with this pattern, set up some ferocious low pressures, actually, to the northern side of the of the hot temperatures on the boundary really between hot and cool temperature. You can set up some really quite vigorous lows with this pattern in the summer and produce a lot of rain. Kind of pattern that developed during the summer of 2007, for example. Hopefully we won't go into anything quite as dramatic as that though. Now by the time we get through to the end of the GFS midnight run, we're still looking a little bit mixed even then, really rather showery, but we are losing that northern blocking signal then. So the GFS V2 is looking in comparison. Low pressure again coming in from off the Atlantic over the bank holiday weekend, keeping things showery and changeable. On into the middle of next week, further low pressures, bring further rain or showers at times. We get through towards day 10. High pressure more in the Atlantic rather than as a northern blocking feature with the GFS V2. But still rather a northwesterly base with the airstream, still a little bit on the cool and showery side, therefore. And we do eventually take the high pressure up towards Greenland and pull down these pretty cool northwesterly winds. So all looking rather cool and showery, really, through the first week of June on both the GFS operation runs today. Oh, sorry once more, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. GM, again, bringing low pressure in from off the Atlantic on Saturday night, which is Sunday, bringing outbreaks of rain in with it. There will need to be showery conditions through the early part of next week, quite a deep low, moving around the middle of next week. That being wet and windy weather in with it, and that takes us into quite a cool, showery west-northwesterly as we get to the end of next week and the end of May into the beginning of June. We keep high pressure centred just to our west-southwest, keeping those northwesterly winds going. So a little bit of a cool, and certainly from the north, showery side there, up to daytime with Bajem. And then the east end looks like this. Once more, low pressures coming in on Saturday night, being outbreaks of rain in with it. The rest of the bank holiday weekend looking rather showery, and then into mid next week, low pressure deepening in the Atlantic, probably bring further wet weather at times, but low pressure and sinking through the country as we go through the second half next week, bringing further rain at times. That's the setup at for day 10, under a trough of low, with a mid-Atlantic ridge trying to get up towards Greenland, looking rather cool and showery. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from meteo.com. The next couple of days we'll see the rain easing off finally, but as we go from Saturday into Sunday, we're going to have further showery bursts moving in from the Atlantic, and Sunday could be quite a showery day actually, some heavy, potentially thundery showers on Sunday. Bank holiday Monday, probably fewer showers, but still plenty of them around. And then into the middle of next week, further rain at times, all looking rather showery and changeable, really, all the way up towards day 10. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 2nd of June. 20 members of the ECM ensembles with a trough of low pressure over the UK and Western Europe, and ridges out in the Atlantic, cool and showery. With that, we've got 16 with high pressure to the east-northeast, low pressure southwest. That brings wind up from a southerly or southeasterly direction, unsettled and probably warm with that, maybe a bit volatile. And then we've got 15 with low pressure to the north, high pressure east to south, and winds are coming in from a westerly direction. That brings the driest weather to the south, and most unsettled weather is in the north. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It will get us to the 7th of June. 33 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to the north, high pressures out in the Atlantic, and winds coming in from a west or a northwesterly direction. A little bit cool and showery back. And they've got 18 with high pressure just to our east, drawing up the winds from a southerly or southeasterly direction. Obviously, that's the warmest option. But the strong majority option, the 33, is rather cool and showery there at 2 weeks out. Right, we're nearly done. CFS V2, these are 500 millibar high tonight, bringing down into weekly periods. The first weekly period takes us from the 23rd to the 29th of May. The next week has high pressure over Scandinavia, low pressure down towards Italy, winds coming in from the east, a lot of dry weather and pretty warm at times. Week 2 will be the 30th of May to 5th of June, high pressure to the northeast and in the Atlantic, probably low pressure towards Iceland, Greenland, and winds coming in from more of a western northwesterly direction. Week 3 will be the 6th to the 12th of June. High pressure is over Scandinavia, winds coming in from a warm southeasterly direction. And then finally, week 4 is the 13th to the 19th of June. This implies like a very warm and dry June. Complete contrast with the bottle output we've just been looking at. CFS wants a warm and dry June here. High pressure sitting over Scandinavia for all the next several weeks. Bring lots of dry, warm, maybe quite hot east or southeast wind, very similar to what we had last year in June. So it all remains to be seen. A lot of June uncertainty. I think we've got to keep a close eye on what the shorter bottle output is doing, like the GFS and the ECM, with this northern blocking signal. Let's see where things are going with that. If we do set up northern blocking into the beginning of June, could actually be quite a coolish and unsettled start to June. So need to keep a close eye on it. Anyway, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share and subscribe. Make sure to everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 13 subscribers. That's all now, 13 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k. So if you could give us a sub, that would be amazing. It would be incredible. Well, thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Right, just tell us happening on the chat tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast, Jeremy, Friday, 10 to 14 day, and we've got the ECMWF 42-day forecast for the UK and Ireland scheduled for tomorrow evening as well. But because on Saturday we've got the third and final Summer 2024 Season 1 Roundup. Right, well, you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And for this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.